Texas Tech in their classic all reds. TCU in their crisp white unis. Ball already in the hands of Olivia Miles. You will hear her name a lot. She was projected to be the second overall pick last year in the draft, already making an impact, Madison.
That's what TCU is going to do all game. Get the ball in the hands of Olivia Miles. They want to play that pick and roll offense, already executing it well. And just notice too, early on, the pace of play. Both of these teams want to push. I mentioned it, they thrive in transition. A lot of it for TCU is keeping the ball in the hands of Olivia Miles. It's not just that first action that TCU scores on with the pick and roll. A lot of times it's the second and third. So Texas Tech defensively has to be smart and communicate.
Texas Tech head coach Krista Gerlich said that Miles is an absolute unicorn. We have to slow her down. There's not much stopping her.
Right there for Jada Malone. Just good off-the-ball movement for Texas Tech. You want to make TCU's defense shift in this one, and by doing so, a lot of actions off the ball for Texas Tech, something they've been really good at this season.
Again, Jada Malone starting for the first time this year today. Miles. Another field goal in the books for her.
And I'll tell you, her mid-range game, it's a thing of beauty, something that she's perfected since being in Mark Campbell's system. She's averaging a career best 20 points per game in Big 12. Her court vision is so elite.
Maupin, been here all 4 years with Krista Gerlich.
And Texas Tech offense goes as Maupin goes.
Nunez feeling the pressure of the TCU defense. Madison, you were saying how good of a matchup this game is. Two of the best defenses right here. Physical offense from TCU.
Hey, as basketball fans, we're in for a treat watching this one. Two high-powered offenses, two elite defenses, top in the Big 12. The key for both teams is going to be defend without fouling.
There's your Texas Tech head coach, Krista Gerlich. Proud alum of Texas Tech. Her banner from our national championship year in 1993 hangs above. Had some great conversations with her. She said she was so excited to take on TCU. Again, Texas Tech had a 19-0 winning streak, then lost 3 of their last 4. She said we have to get back to finding that grit today against TCU.
Great rotations for Texas Tech defensively. All 5 players were shifted. Let's look at that once again. Texas Tech defensively, so elite. You see Jada Malone gets beat a little bit, but then help side is there. Rotations drop down. And speeding up TCU.
So Nunez finding Malone, quick release. Defensive rebound for TCU. That's going to be Marta Suarez in the paint. Defensive rebound for Texas Tech. Krista Gerlich said we have to out-rebound the Horned Frogs to stay in this.
And especially on the offensive boards. Texas Tech wanting to get some second chance opportunities here against TCU. Because of the way TCU can score, I mentioned it, they're averaging almost 81 points per game. So with that, Texas Tech, to stay in this one, they've got to get some offensive rebounds, some second chance opportunities. You see Tech and their full court press defense. We're going to see that all game. They want to press for 40 minutes straight.
Donovan Hunter coming in. Made that layup look easy. Mark Campbell, TCU head coach, really dug deep into the transfer portal. Said that he rebuilt a new team since last year, that the pieces are at 70 to 75% clicking, and said we're only getting better each game. A programming note, the Saudi Pro League soccer match that had been airing on FS2 is continuing on the Fox Sports app until our game is able to move over to FS1.
Great job by Bristow there, just playing off the ball. The spacing of Tech's offense so far in this one has been really good, and it led to an open 3 for Bristow.
Easy layup from Marta Suarez, even though she had 2 defenders on her, still able to reach over.
And that's what makes Marta Suarez such a threat. Just her ability to shoot it, her ability to drive. She plays that 4 position, but she's really fast, especially with the ball in her hand.
Suarez has scored 20+ on 6 occasions. Texas Tech, big focus is going to be defending her. Ball back in the hands of Olivia Miles. taking a moment to set up her offense. Out to Suarez, back to Miles. Nunez doing everything she can.
Marta Suarez has been such a key piece for TCU in her first season with the Horned Frogs. You see her just taking the ball from half court and scoring it all the way with her left hand. She's got the defender on her hip and finishes strong at the rim. Mark Campbell saying Marta Suarez has been a great addition to this team because of the way she can score. She can score in a variety of different ways. She can be a traditional post player, and then we can see her go coast to coast as well.
Donovan Hunter scored in double figures for the 14th time against Kansas. Out to Suarez, quick release. Air ball, that's gonna be Texas Tech. Maupin. Blocked, turned over. TCU again showing that physicality on the defense. Clara Silva, 6'7". Leads the Big 12 in blocks per game with 2.3. Here she goes again, Silva. That's going to be a foul called.
You mentioned it on the defensive end. Silva, a great rim protector. And right now, we are in a close one with TCU leading Texas Tech 10-5.
Tech offensively from right out the gates.
Especially because of the way both of these teams want to play. Two high-powered, high-scoring offenses. Texas Tech averaging around 74 points per game as well. So both teams elite at scoring. You got to give a lot of credit to what Mark Campbell has done at TCU. As a reminder, it was just 3 years ago where Mark Campbell and TCU were having to hold open tryouts because they didn't have enough eligible players. Then he hits the transfer portal. He gets players to come to TCU last season, and Sedona Prince and Haley Van Lith. They win the Big 12, and now they're just as good, if not better in a lot of ways this season, and you got to give a lot of credit to what Mark Campbell has done.
Yeah, then Big 12 regular season clean sweep and tournament champions, and went on a run to the Elite Eight of the tournament in 2024 to the 25 season. So quick start for Campbell as well.
And look at the pressure right now that Texas Tech is putting on TCU, even outside of the three-point line. They are putting so much pressure because that is what's going to limit the paint touches. TCU thrives with an inside-out game. Texas Tech just putting on a defensive clinic right now. All 5 players rotating, and they come up with the board. That was textbook defense right there for Tech. That pressure is going to be critical all game long.
Snudda Collins is in from the bench for TCU. For Texas Tech, quick release. Krista Grolick said the team jokes that we have a starting 6. That's how important Snudda Collins is to this team.
Texas Tech already showing multiple defensive looks to TCU. We've seen a 2-3 zone, we've seen man-to-man, we've seen the press. Just look at how TCU is staying in, or Tech is staying in front of TCU. They're not playing on their hips, they're just playing good, solid defense. All 5 players are shifting and rotating. That's key when you have multiple offensive weapons with the Horned Frogs. Defense, good thing, Texas Tech 11th ranked defensively in the nation.
Olivia Miles, who Krista Grolick said her team has to contain. She said there's no stopping her, but we can do everything we can to minimize her team impact. Bailey Maupin, been the backbone for the Lady Raiders this season. Been here her entire career with Grolick. Collins, quick release. Defensive rebound, it's Miles again.
TCU making it tough for Tech offensively as well. Tech not getting a lot of their looks that they're used to getting on.
Deep pass from Miles. Off the rim though. That was Donovan Hunter going for the 3. Now the ball's in Maupin's hands. Turnover. Maupin not able to keep this one. It's back to Hunter. Misses the layup. Explosive plays on both sides. Sydney Love taking a second, resetting with Snudda Collins.
Tech needs to try to get Maupin going in this one. She's the engine that makes Tech go. If Maupin is scoring at a high level, this Texas Tech offense is really hard to stop.
Able to get that one before the shot clock, but not able to have this ball drop in. Subs coming in for Texas Tech. How would you rate their offense so far?
Texas Tech's?
Yes.
They're playing pretty well. They just have to be more patient because TCU is going to put a lot of pressure on the ball. So like, as I mentioned, Maupin's got to get going. Snudda Collins needs to get going. They need Nunez to really dictate the pace of play and get their sets going with what they want to do offensively. Tech has a lot of threats offensively. They just have to settle into this one. TCU's defense does not get enough credit. It is an elite defense.
Bigby De Silva. Defensive rebound, Texas Tech able to take that one. It's Jada Malone. This is her first time starting this season. Has a brace on her leg from her time at Texas A&M. Wears it just to be cautious now. That's number 23 for Tech. Another rebound for Malone.
That was a good look there from Sydney Love. Like I said, Tech is getting some good shots, some good looks. They just need to knock them down. That baseline penetration created an open look for Love. Good rebound right here from Jada Malone. Just couldn't finish it.
Emma Nunez finding her teammate. Defensive rebound, that's going to be a foul.
Maupin wants to get to the free throw line. If you ask any coaches that scout her, that's recruited her, they will tell you that she's one of the most elite players when it comes to drawing contact, using her body to get that contact and get herself to the free throw line. She didn't shoot very well last game against Iowa State from the free throw line, just 6 of 10, but she'll get there. And I think with how physical both teams want to play, the Charity Stripe's going to play a big role in this one.
Bailey Maupin shooting 81% from the free throw line. Last year told Coach Gerlich at the end of the season, I told you I'd be here 4 years. I'm staying here 4 years. Krista Gerlich said she's a player you dream of having your team.
And that's so unheard of, especially in college athletics today. Maddie Shear with a wide open 3 in transition. But you really can't, Shelby, overstate just how important it is to have a player, a leader like Maupin, who has bought into a program for as long as she has. To play your entire career at one spot, that used to be the norm. It's not so much anymore in college athletics.
Maupin and Bristow, quick release off the rim. Yeah, TCU head coach Mark Campbell, as Texas Tech Love scores another 2. Mark Campbell said one of the top keys is to take care of Maupin. The crowd loving that one. It's packed in United Supermarkets Arena here in Lubbock, Texas. Tech on a 7-0 run right now. Offensive rebound for TCU. Still not able to make the shot, though, is Kennedy Bashman.
Texas Tech down the stretch of this first quarter doing a good job just dictating the pace. Constantly attacking here. Texas Tech getting really good looks in their offense because they're being patient, but this dribble drive is what their offense is built off of.
Pressure coming in from Maupin on Davis.
Sydney Love and what she's been doing for this Tech team, you can't overstate her presence. Great job getting the board and putting it right back up. Whenever you watch Texas Tech, when they get a shot up, it looks like all 5 players crash, but really they're tagging. They do that because they want to immediately set up their press defense. But Gerlich telling me at shoot-around this morning that she wants this team to be better on the glass. She wants all 5 to crash, but she doesn't think they're being aggressive enough on their tags. They got to find someone, put a body in them, and box out, and then just crash the glass. Second chance opportunities key in this one.
Olivia Miles passes to teammate Marta Suarez. Quick release, all net from Suarez. Ending that 7-0 run the Lady Raiders found themselves on. A reminder, everyone, change it over from FS2 to FS1 next. Texas Tech, 2 points behind TCU. Krista Gerlich, Texas Tech head coach. Texas Tech has dropped 3 of their last 4 games after going on a 19 straight winning streak. Collins in the paint.
Snudda Collins so much fun to watch. An elite player who comes off the bench for Texas Tech. Any other team, any other elite program, she'd be a starting 5. But hey, how nice is it to have a spark like Collins come off the bench? Krista Gerlich telling me at shoot-around, yeah, she could start for us, but she's just fun to watch coming off the bench. She likes to get a feel of the game as well. She prefers being that 6th player for Tech. TCU really focused on getting more offensive rebounds. We just saw second chance opportunities for TCU. Right now, Tech is leading TCU in second chance opportunities, but I've mentioned it in the first quarter. That's going to be key with how high-powered these offenses are. Offensive rebounding and second chance, a big key.
Danae Fritz finding Collins. 2-on-1. It's going to be a travel.
Olivia Miles, this is what she does best. Getting a defender on her hip, putting her head down, and just scoring with physicality at the lane.
Well, the Lincoln Financial stat comparison, we have a lot of great talent on the court this afternoon. And let's take a look at 2 of the best. TCU's Olivia Miles and Texas Tech's Bailey Maupin.
Olivia Miles, I'm telling you, she's one of my favorite players in the nation to watch. She's transferring over from Notre Dame, but Mark Campbell is saying she's become even more of an elite player since she's joined this TCU system.
Today's stat comparison is sponsored by Lincoln Financial. Your tomorrow, our priority.
And the thing that makes Olivia Miles so tough to defend is because she doesn't give up her dribble. A lot of times, she will beat that first line of defense, and she forces those shifts and rotations. And that's why I've been saying Texas Tech, all 5 players have to be locked in on their rotations because Miles is so shifty with the ball.
Marta Suarez, 6'3" guard, able to beat out the Lady Raiders, and Sydney Love is going to bring this ball back. Turnover. Donovan Hunter taking off. It's Maupin on her. Beats her out. Huge play for Hunter.
Line ball turnovers, that's something Texas Tech wanted to limit in this game because TCU does a great job scoring off of turnovers and scoring in transition. Great 3-ball right there from Love. When she is set her catch and shoot 3, it is hard to defend.
Sydney Love surpassed 1,000 career points in their last game versus Iowa State. Season high is 17. Hunter. Back to Olivia Miles. Maupin slipping, able to find her footing again. Great matchup to watch as Miles and Maupin. Defensive rebound, no one is even near that board, just wide open. Sydney Love. Jada Malone, are you gonna take this one? Decides to kick it back out to Bailey Maupin. Defensive board for TCU.
Maupin right now offensively just can't get her game going, but Texas Tech doing a really good job playing multiple actions off the ball. You saw it there, just good solid TCU defense.
No points yet for Bailey Maupin. Excuse me, 2 points. Miles. That's going to be a turnover. Defensive help from Jada Malone. Donovan Hunter on Miles. Sydney Love. Off the rim, just too strong. Jada, big offensive rebound from Malone, but this ball's going out.
Tough break for Jada Malone there, just not being able to finish it. But Texas Tech, once again, doing a good job just crashing the glass. Texas Tech trying to generate some offense by playing inside and out. Big rebound right there for Jada Malone.
Sydney Love's gonna bring this one in. Collins trying to find an open teammate. Bristow sets the screen, drives in. Offensive rebound, Texas Tech has another chance. Love kicked out to Bristow, quick release. Texas Tech not able to make a 3 fall right now.
and only shooting 27% from the field. As I mentioned, they're getting some good looks. The ball's just not going in.
Defensive rebound by Maupin.
And notice how Texas Tech is pushing, make or miss. They want to get TCU in transition and get them on their heels.
What's going to be the key to getting TCU in transition more from Tech?
They're going to have to rebound the basketball. TCU, one of their problems last game against Kansas is a lot of their players down the stretch got into foul trouble, and that's Marta Suarez going to the bench right now after that foul. They have to defend at a high level, but they have to defend without fouling because you can't have too many players on the bench if you're TCU.
Donovan Hunter blocking this ball out, but Texas Tech going to have the redemption chance.
Donovan Hunter been a really fun player to watch for the Horned Frogs this season. She's more than doubled her scoring average from last season. Watching her last year, she was averaging around 5 points per game. This season, she's averaging 12.1, but I love the way that she is commanding this offense for TCU, playing more off the ball, doing a really good job.
Emma Nunez trained with the U18 Spain national team. Back to Maupin. Bristow still not able to make one fall. Texas Tech turning it over to TCU. Ronnie Sheffy.
Marta Suarez coming back in. TCU, they have an advantage inside. They're a bigger, more physical team, and TCU needs to take that advantage here in the second quarter. Danae Fritz, one of the most elite defenders, especially in the Big 12. She's averaging almost 3 steals per game. She can make this game really tough for TCU if her defense is just locked in.
That was a defensive rebound by Maupin, now in the hands of Jada Malone. Back to Maupin. Just missed this one. Offensive rebound. Nunez helping her teammate out. Maupin, all net.
That's what you need if you're Texas Tech. Second chance opportunities, getting the rebound inside and kicking it out. TCU was too shifted. It led to Maupin just being able to knock down that 3, and it feels good as a shooter to see that ball go through the net when it hasn't all game. Should be a big confidence boost for Maupin. As I mentioned earlier, Texas Tech goes as Maupin goes. She's one of the most elite scorers, especially in the Big 12, averaging 15 points per game. So you get her going in this one, it's going to be a huge threat.
Bailey Maupin grabbing defensive boards all first half so far as well. Shear getting the turnover, driving in, buckets.
Maddie Shear's first game back, she retweaked her back. Wasn't in the starting lineup. Taylor Bigby has been playing in the starting lineup in place of Shear, but Shear just an elite player for TCU as well. We didn't get to see her at all last year when she transferred over, so if TCU can get her going, that's going to be another offensive threat for them.
Bailey Maupin finding Snudda Collins just off the iron. And Miles has the defensive board.
And notice how Danae Fritz is picking up Miles at 94 feet. They're going to make it tough for Olivia Miles all game.
Miles getting extremely physical with Jada Malone. The crowd is not liking the lack of call. But Malone proceeds on. Bailey Maupin running the floor right now.
This is going to be a physical game. Both of these teams want this win. I wouldn't call it a rivalry between TCU and Texas Tech quite yet, but Krista Gerlich says it's becoming that because these are 2 of the top 4 teams in the Big 12. A lot on the line in this game.
Emma Nunez trying to make a play happen right now, telling Fritz to get to the side. 3 on the shot clock, 2.
Great attack right there from Emma Nunez. Incredible just to recognize the way TCU was defending her, had the defender on her hip, and just took it all the way to the rim.
Sheffy out to Suarez. A lot of momentum for Texas Tech right now. The crowd is behind them. Big make for Sheffy right now. Nunez bringing this back in. Emma Nunez started all games this year. Again, the only change to the lineup starting is Jada Malone. That's the first change in the starting lineup this entire year. Malone, defensive board for Miles. Texas Tech head coach Krista Gerlich said it's mesmerizing watching Miles, the pace of play, how she moves the ball.
And the thing about Miles is she really is a pass-first point guard, but she's been looking for a shot a lot more since she arrived at TCU. Haley Van Lith, the point guard that led TCU to a championship last year, she was a score-first point guard. Mark Campbell saying they've shifted their system a little bit. They want Miles to score, but she's an elite facilitator as well, averaging over 7 assists per game.
Big defensive, offensive board. That was Malone.
Elite defenses in the nation, 11th ranked. They just need to be smarter with their on-ball pressure the ball with TCU, make it difficult for them to get it into the paint, because if TCU starts to get going in the paint, this game could get away. Got to give credit, though, to Texas Tech. Right now, they're shooting 31% from 3. That percentage has gone up significantly throughout the second quarter.
Sanogo back in the game, number 11 for Tech, and this is the first game that she has never started this season. Jada Malone stepped in for her.
She was with the starting 5 at shoot-around when they were walking through different drills. Not sure what the decision was to have Jada Malone step in and start. Maybe they wanted just more of a rebounding presence.
The previous play is under review for a potential timing error.
And talking to Krista Gerlich this week, she said that she thought their Achilles heel would be rebounding. She said, we don't really have an all-out rebounder. It's spread out amongst the team just like their offense.
Yeah, which is really not a bad problem to have. They don't have an Audie Crooks like Iowa State has that can just go in there and get the boards. But right now, they're not doing bad. They're actually beating TCU on the boards 25-19. But what Coach Gerlich wants is those second chance opportunities. She wants to win the offensive glass. So Tech just has to continue to crash. I mentioned it. Texas Tech does something unique where they tag. Whenever Texas Tech offensively gets a shot up, they immediately find a body and tag. It looks like all 5 players are crashing the glass, but really, they're just wanting to try and set up their press defense.
And the refs are looking at what time on the clock the foul took place. Good shot right there of Olivia Miles, and here's what the refs are looking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them decide that.
No guess?
I'm not gonna decide that one. That's why I am not a ref.
Good look at Mark Campbell.
Tell you, I love talking to Coach Campbell. I love what he has done for this TCU program. And you could say last year when they lost Sedona Prince and Haley Van Lith.
After review, we have corrected the shot clock to read 1.1.
1.1 on the shot clock. But you could have thought that TCU would have dropped off a little bit. Instead, he hit the portal even harder. Got one of the most elite guards, probably the top guard, I would say, in the portal in Olivia Miles, to get her to come from Notre Dame to TCU and buy in the way that she has. And Coach Campbell said Olivia Miles wanted to come to TCU. She gave up being one of the top 3 picks in the WNBA draft because she wanted to get better. And now she wants to be a top pick in the WNBA draft, the number 1 pick.
Mark Campbell said Haley Van Lith was a resurrection project, became a first-round draft pick, but Olivia Miles, ball in her hands, came in already ready to be at the top, wanted to stay in and spend more time at the collegiate level. Physical play on both ends right now. Maupin on the ground for the ball against Suarez.
And these loose balls, these 50-50 balls are going to be key. Whichever team can come up with more of these 50-50 balls, these loose balls, are going to have the advantage because, as I mentioned at the top of the game, turnovers, ball protection is key for both teams right now. Texas Tech wants to limit TCU's possessions. They want to keep them right under 60 possessions. So you're going to see Texas Tech flying on the floor, diving on the floor, trying to come up with those loose balls to keep the ball out of TCU's hands.
Emma Nunez.
The addition of Hima Nunez has been huge for Texas Tech because it's allowed Bailey Maupin to play more of her natural position off the ball because Texas Tech finally has a true point guard in Nunez.
Nunez is running down the clock, finding Collins. Big offensive rebound from Jada Malone. Texas Tech trailing TCU by 2 points.
This would be a big win for both of them, especially Texas Tech, to beat a 12th ranked TCU team. So something that we're going to watch down the stretch for sure.
TCU has a 2-point lead, but they only have 5 offensive boards where Texas Tech has 11. How is that impacting the game so far?
Well, the difference is the offensive boards right now. Texas Tech really wanted to control the offensive glass, and they have. TCU only has 5 offensive rebounds. Second chance points, once again, going to be big. What I'm going to be watching offensively, though, because obviously this is a low-scoring game. You got to give credit to the defenses, but 24-22, we got to see more actions. Big block right there from Silva. We got to see more actions for the offenses with the dribble handoffs, with the pick and roll.
That was Clara Silva, leads the Big 12 in blocks per game with 2.3. Huge momentum play for TCU. The bench is off their feet.
Great job by Suarez, sucking out Danae Fritsch. Jada Malone had to hone in on Suarez right there too. And Silva just doing a good job cutting off the ball. Malone had to come over and defend Suarez, who was in the short corner. And because she brought her out, because Malone was brought out, Silva had an open cut to the basket. That's just good rotations for TCU, moving off the ball, playing off the ball, something that they've done a lot better as this game has gotten going.
Clara Silva was 6'7", and she's from Portugal. She was the Kentucky transfer. Ball in the hands of Danae Fritsch. Finding Malone. Malone calling for Snudda Collins.
And a reminder, Snudda Collins comes off the bench. She's not in the starting 5, but a lot of times we see Krista Gerlich starting her in the second half. That's because Snudda Collins likes to watch a little bit. Coach Gerlich saying because she didn't play much last year, she didn't play at all last year, she wants to watch a few possessions before she comes in, and once she gets the flow of the game, she's such a threat. The thing about Snudda Collins is she can play 1 through 5. Definitely 1 through 4, but she can even play that 5 position. And the thing, too, is she can defend all 5 players on the court, which is big in this one with matching up with TCU.
The head coach, Krista Gerlich, said that she likes having Snudda Collins come off the bench, like you just said, watching the play, but then also bringing the X-Factor energy. But Gerlich said, I might need to have her starting soon. She's just that good. Miles, quick release, going out to Hunter. Off the rim, it's too strong. Another miss of offensive board for TCU. Madison, you said how important that is for the Horned Frogs this second half.
Yeah, but Texas Tech just doing a good job owning the glass, getting good position down on the paint to get some of these boards.
Danae Fritsch.
Danae Fritsch, when her three-point shot is on, it is clean, it is smooth. She doesn't take it as much as I would like to see her, but she has a great three-point shot, just a step back right there to knock it down. Danae Fritsch, if Tech could get her going within this offense, she's such a high-caliber player. A player I have watched since she was in the 8th grade and been really fun to watch.
Olivia Miles going up against the momentum the crowd is bringing here for Texas Tech.
Good fadeaway right there from Silva. She's a great defensive player, leads the Big 12 in blocks, but when her shot gets going, especially from the mid-range, she has a really pretty shot.
Nunez out to Maupin. Collins setting the screen. Krista Gerlich yelling from the sidelines. All net from Snudda Collins. Again, the player who comes off the bench, and our team jokes that that's actually starting 6 because how good Collins is.
Well, not bad when you're coming off the bench and you're second in the team in scoring. She can score in a variety of different ways. Marta Suarez, when she's just on the block, backing a player down, she has such an advantage because she just has such a strong frame. Marta Suarez, a matchup issue because she can play multiple positions as well. She's a true 4. You can see her there posting up.
Marta Suarez leads the gym with 9 points.
Snudda Collins, I love seeing her start this second half and just immediately providing a spark. You see her, she's almost lights out at that mid-range jump shot. About 12 to 15 feet is her sweet spot. Marta Suarez getting things going for TCU to start. You see her just backing down Collins and finishing baseline. But that's something that I mentioned earlier. Snudda Collins coming in and defending a 4. Snudda Collins can defend the point guard, she can defend the 4, she can defend the 5, and that's why she's getting a lot of playing time right now as well. We're already seeing her get to the free throw line early here in this second half. She's second on the team in free throw attempts. She leads the team in free throw makes.
Shooting 80% from the free throw line, Snudda Collins. Starts over from the side a lot, not right in the middle of the basket at all.
Yeah, it's a unique shot, but she's such a matchup nightmare for teams as well. She can rip from that high post. I mentioned her mid-range. Great defense right here from Texas Tech. I love seeing Marta Suarez have this success that she's found at TCU. I covered Suarez when she was at Tennessee in the beginning of her career. Didn't play much because she had a knee injury, and then she goes to Cal, and now she's just playing the best basketball of her career under Mark Campbell at TCU because she fits his system and the pick and roll system that he wants to play with.
And you see Suarez communicating so much with the refs, her teammates, definitely one of those vocal leaders you want on the court.
Well, she's a veteran, and both of these teams, Texas Tech and TCU, they're the 2 oldest teams in Power 4 basketball. So they have a lot of veteran leadership on the team. Suarez, not so much as the vocal leader for TCU, but she leads by example. You see Texas Tech setting up their press defense. They want to press all game. They want to force turnovers. They want to force live ball turnovers because a lot of their offense is led from their defense.
Big beat to Suarez. Big turnover. Texas Tech defense stepping up. Maupin wide open 3. Just off the rim. Offensive rebound though. Red jerseys all in the paint. Huge defensive rebounds by, of course, Suarez. Wide open is Hunter. The layup is good.
Good job by Hunter, just staying back and then getting and just pushing. TCU wants to push the entire time, and Hunter just executing transition well there. You see the difference in fast break points. TCU 6, Texas Tech 0. I bet that's something Coach Gerlich and the Tech staff is watching right now because they want to score in transition.
Close game the whole time. TCU now with the 1-point lead, 32-31 here in Lubbock, Texas. It's a top 25 showdown. Big 12 women's college basketball on FS1. So layup right here. Olivia Miles again, been the backbone of her team. Maupin. That was Sarah Sonogo coming off the bench, still making an impact for the Lady Raiders. Miles feeling the defensive pressure from Texas Tech. Collins is all over her. Miles tries to push her off. That's going to be a foul called on Olivia Miles. She is not liking this one. And we're going to break. TCU holding on the 1-point lead, 34-33 in the third quarter here in Lubbock, Texas, a top 25 matchup on FS1. 19 straight, but their head coach, Krista Gerlich, said after that we reset and really try to have fun with scouting. They do a quiz the night before, make it a game, a trivia game, trying to get each other more involved.
Scouting report is everything in college basketball. You got to know the scouting report, but the biggest thing is you have to execute the scouting report. I think both teams right now defensively are executing the scouting report really well. Both teams bringing it on the defensive end. They're going to have to create more actions offensively. Spacing is key. TCU needs to do a better job spacing. You see the guards a little stagnant on the perimeter right now, but that's because the entire offense just rolls off this pick and roll, and Olivia Miles getting in the paint. Great job right there, and Olivia Miles just handling the pressure of Tex, coming out, pressuring her with the ball, being patient off the pick and roll. She attacks, and that's just a pretty jump shot right there for Olivia Miles. A reason she's one of the best guards in the nation, averaging 20 points per game, because she was patient within the offense, she handled it, and then she just attacked.
And Olivia Miles with the flex after that made basket. Began walking at 6 months old, then running at 8. So you could say she was just born to be a pro basketball player one day, Madison.
Yeah, I mean, we can't overstate how incredible that is. She started walking at 6 months. I have almost 2-year-old twin daughters who did not start walking until they were 1. And she was running at 8 months. I mean, her dad saying that she had a pediatrician appointment when she was about 5 years old, and the doctor said, hey, you need to get her in sports because she is going to thrive in whatever she does athletically. And we're seeing that out of Olivia Miles.
Her head coach Mark Campbell said she has a very bright future ahead in the WNBA, and said he's just so grateful she decided to stay in college after transferring from Notre Dame for her last year of eligibility. Driving in, who else but Miles? Big defensive board for Texas Tech. Fritz. Collins driving in, feeling the pressure from Shearer. Board, that's going to be for TCU. Driving in, Hunter. That's good. 2 more for the Horned Frogs.
And that's just a textbook drill that you run in practice when you first start playing basketball. Great job by TCU, just controlling the tempo here in the second half and pushing it. Getting the rebound, getting it out, passing it ahead, and then running. They're 2-on-1, and Hunter just finishes strong at the basket.
Looking at this TCU team, it's incredible what Mark Campbell has done with the transfer portal and just how good he is at recruiting. And talking to him this week before the game, he just seems like a people person. You could see why someone would want to go play for him.
Absolutely, but it goes back, I mean, even further, but really, whenever he was at Oregon, recruiting players like Sabrina Ionescu, one of the best players to ever play the college game and the game in general, it's because he's such a player's coach. These players genuinely love playing for him. And you take a look, I mentioned it earlier, but 3 years ago, TCU didn't even have enough eligible players to compete. They had to hold open tryouts and sign some walk-ons just to be competitive. And then the next year, they won the Big 12 regular season and tournament championship with Haley Van Lith, Sedona Prince, just some of the top players in the portal to come to TCU, and there's been no drop-off. His team has only gotten better, and it's because of who he is as a head coach and then the supporting staff around him as well. He really buys in to making his players better.
Defensive rebound for TCU. Yeah, Mark Campbell said, we're not a traditional powerhouse, but we're building it.
And if you take a look at what they've done, I mean, 7 most wins over the last 3 years, competing with South Carolina, UConn, Texas, LSU, UCLA, those blue bloods of the women's game. TCU is just trying to create a powerhouse. Tech, though, in this one with them, trying to get something going. They need a big play here offensively. They're bringing it on the defensive end, as Texas Tech has the 11th ranked defense in the nation, and here's a reason why. They have a lot of players just rotating. Good job right there by number 11 in red, coming over with that help defense to stop the drive, but Danae Fritz starts it with her ball pressure. She gets beat a little bit, and then the help is there. And that's the thing with Texas Tech. Their guards know if they get beat in that first line of defense, they have their post players behind them that can step up and rotate and shift defensively.
Krista Gerlich said what starts our offense is controlling the boards. We cannot get killed on that. As we see Donovan Hunter wide open. Maddie Shear, who came back in the game from being out for a few, making that drive look so easy. Collins passing into the paint. Foul called.
Maddie Shear just not giving her defender time to set up, attacks the closeout and takes it to the rim. Maddie Shear, really good when she puts the ball on the floor, has a really quick first step, especially with the ball in her hand. She attacked the closeout and got a great angle to the basket. You take a look at what TCU is doing in the second half, shooting 67% from the field. The difference is they shot just 33% from the field there in the first half. So you knew these offenses were going to come along, but you do have to give a lot of credit to the defenses. They're making every possession really difficult.
To make sure we got the correct number of the fouler.
Mark Campbell talks to his team using this break as a timeout.
And another thing from that Maddie Shear drive that we just saw, it came off of a turnover. TCU right now doing a good job executing off turnovers. They have 10 points off of Tech's turnovers. The difference is Texas Tech has no points off of TCU turnovers, but TCU doing a really good job taking care of the basketball. Only 5 turnovers for the Horned Frogs. I asked Mark Campbell at pregame what that sweet spot was for him with turnovers, and he said, we want to keep the under 15.
After review, we've corrected the fouler. The illegal contact was on number 5, White.
So saying the foul is on Olivia Miles. Woo. Good help defense right there from Olivia Miles. I don't know if I agree on that. I think that's just some physical defense.
Second foul called for Olivia Miles. That puts Bristow at the line, shooting 70% from the free throw line this season. Gerlich said that we want Bristow to be more aggressive on both ends on the floor. She has a quick release on the 3, but she's not taking as many shots right now.
She's not getting as many looks. TCU just doing a good job taking Bristow out of this game.
TCU trying to take advantage of that missed shot.
And Tech just immediately in their press defense, forcing a turnover. Danae Fritz gets on the ball. This defense is swarming by Texas Tech, their press defense. It's because of that on-ball pressure right there and that front line between Love and Fritz. They're working together and they come up with that. 10-second violation. Great job by Texas Tech. All 5 players just being on the same page. That's key when you're running a press defense. To break the press defense, you got to get the ball to the middle of the floor, and they were not letting TCU get to the middle of the floor.
Krista Gerlich said Danae Fritz was her favorite Big 12 player when she played at Iowa State. Then went to Baylor, hit the transfer portal, and Gerlich said, how do we get here? Called Danae Fritz and said, when's the last time you were in Lubbock besides playing? She said, 2 weeks ago, my sister lives there. The coaching staff did a little Instagram stalking, found a picture of her at a Texas Tech tailgate from years ago with gear on and sent it to her and said, hey, look at this. You are meant to be a Lady Raider and already making a huge impact for the team this season.
Danae Fritz is just playing their best basketball in this system with Krista Gerlich, and I think a lot of that is because Gerlich
The
really
ruling on the floor is a 10-second violation. This play is under review to look for a potential timing error.
So the ref's just coming over to tell us they're verifying the timing on the shot clock, thinking it could be 21 seconds right now up on the board for the shot clock. It's 20. So they're reviewing the timing on the shot clock, thinking that it could be 21 seconds. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Every possession matters for these teams, especially when you're in this tight ball game. It's just a 4-point ball game with TCU with the edge right now, but it's been a back and forth battle all game. Every possession matters. Texas Tech really wanting to limit how many possessions TCU can have because they want to score 80, 85 points per game. TCU, Texas Tech wanting their possessions under 60.
And talking about the Texas Tech defense, Krista Gerlich said we want that swarm mentality, but it seems like the last few plays, the defense has really been stepping up when it comes to aggressiveness.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just starts with that first line of defense with Danae Fritz and Love, the way that they're pressuring in this press defense. They're gonna press the entire game. It's because it's so effective. And they're trying to speed up TCU. TCU committed way too many turnovers last game against Kansas, so Texas Tech trying to speed them up and get those live ball turnovers, because if Tech can get some turnovers and let their defense lead to offense, that's the way they want to play.
It was so fun talking to Krista Gerlich this weekend about her days as Lady Raider when they won the national championship in 1993. And she said that she told her team, guys, that same year my team won the Natty, we also lost 3 games. She was helping them reset, said, I know exactly how it feels to be in your shoes here on this campus, and that you don't need a perfect season to have a perfect outcome.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about one of the best seasons in women's college basketball. And Krista Gerlich, just to be able to say she's done it at that highest level is huge.
After review, the out-of-bounds signal came right as the clock was turning to 20, so therefore the call stands. It is a 10-second violation.
That's big time for Texas Tech to be able to force a 10-second violation, something we don't see out of TCU often, but once again, it's Texas Tech's press defense that allowed that.
Sydney Love out to Jalen Bristow, driving in against Suarez, losing control of the ball. Grabbed easily by Maddie Shear and letting Olivia Miles reset their offense.
And look at where Danae Fritz is picking her up. Because of that, the pick and roll from Suarez is having to be set higher, that ball screen from Suarez, which is not the angle that they wanted.
Miles backing up behind the arc, just off the rim. TCU not making too much of an effort for that offensive board right there. That's now in the hands of Bailey Maupin. Love out to Maupin again.
We need to see more off-ball actions from Texas Tech. You got 4 players on the perimeter just standing there right now.
Defensive board, a big grab by Marta Suarez. Seven seconds left on the shot clock. Suarez, is she gonna take this shot? She's pressed in by Collins. Off her hands.
Pushing in transition, a 2-on-1 there where Donovan Hunter is just able to lay it in. TCU doing a really good job just dictating the pace. They're gonna have to do that throughout the rest of the 4th quarter if they want to win this ball game.
3 attempt by Bailey Maupin. Off the iron, big defensive rebound for TCU is Taylor Bigby.
And once again, Texas Tech just needs to get some stops because right now they have no points off of TCU's turnovers. TCU doing a good job taking care of the basketball, so Tech just needs to step it up a little bit defensively to try and get more stops.
How can they step up more defensively? After that huge 3 made by Taylor Bigby, now need that defense more than ever.
Pressure and all 5 players being on the same page, rotating. The reason they haven't been able to get so many stops is because of the pressure Olivia Miles puts on the rim.
3 made by Snudda Collins. A quick answer from Taylor Bigby from TCU.
Texas Tech, a really good 3-point shooting team. If they can get that going, that's going to be a difference maker here in the 4th quarter. Great job by Tech, setting their press defense and forcing the stop. Snudda Collins just in rhythm out on the perimeter. Great job relocating, playing off the ball, and knocking it down. That's what I'm talking about. Spacing is key for Tech and playing off the ball, relocating on the perimeter. Texas Tech wants to get up about 23 3-point attempts per game. They need to get more of those up right now.
Snudda Collins shooting 42% from the 3-point line. And makes it another field goal for her.
And hey, when you're making shots, it's easier to set up your press defense, which is what Texas Tech thrives on.
TCU feeling the pressure from the crowd here in United Supermarkets Arena. A little over 6,000 fans here. Suarez with the spin moves. Big effort from her today.
Suarez really needs to be big in the paint right now. TCU has the advantage in the paint, really outworking Tech in the paint. If I'm TCU, I'm just going to keep forcing it inside and letting Marta Suarez go to work.
Deep shot off the rim.
Texas Tech, though, once again, just has to continue to create more offense by playing with the ball in their hands like Snudda Collins is doing right there, but also relocating. And then Marta Suarez with the spin move, strong finish to the goal. That's not an easy finish. She was spinning, she was off balance, but a great shot.
Marta Suarez finding Olivia Miles. Back out to Suarez. She doesn't take it. Fakes out Collins and makes it. Perfect play from her.
And that's something that is just underrated with Marta Suarez's game, the way she's able to attack and read closeouts as well.
Emma Nunez taking a second to reset, drives in, but she's pressured. She finds Malone. Emma Nunez went down hard. Now it's Miles' ball, wide open three-point. Big attempt from Hunter, not able to take it and make it in. Ball in the hands of Love. A lot of 3 points attempted in the last couple of minutes. Nunez, the player from Spain, turned over in Olivia Miles' hands.
Coach Gerlich not liking that one, thinking that that was a foul right there. Olivia Miles just making that entry pass from the guard difficult. Silva, just good defense there.
Nunez, deep pass, back to her. Olivia Miles resetting, Love on her, switched up. Foul called. Texas Tech just 6 points down here against TCU. That foul was on number 4, Donovan Hunter.
You got Maddie Shear coming in for TCU. She's a great spacer within the offense.
Sydney Love, the UTSA transfer. Facing off with Suarez. Clara Silva, the 6'7" center. Big rebound for TCU. Olivia Miles driving quickly, finding Silva. Doesn't want to take it. Suarez. No-look pass to Maddie Shear.
It looked like they called a walk on Marta Suarez. That happened like 3 or 4 seconds before they actually called it. Marta Suarez just playing elite right now. 13 points, 10 rebounds though. Those 10 rebounds have been the difference maker in the second half for TCU.
Sydney Love. Feeling the pressure from Maddie Shear. Love out to Maupin. Maupin going up against Clara Silva. Deep shot by Sydney Love. The crowd is on their feet. The 3 is good.
And how about Sydney Love, the way she has been stepping up? Last game, she came off the bench, played 33 minutes for Texas Tech and had 17 points. That's carrying over into today's game as well, playing with a lot of confidence right now.
That's gonna be a jump ball after the missed shot by Olivia Miles.
Good job, just staying out wide from Sydney Love, not sucking into the paint where she would have brought in her defender. She stays out. Maddie Shear just not able to close out fast enough. I mean, that was a really difficult shot, though, from Sydney Love. Maddie Shear did have her hand high in her face, and she just knocked that down.
Miles out. Wide open shot. That's a good three. Maddie Shear making that one fall. Maupin trying to answer with a three of her own. Defensive rebound for TCU.
Not a smart pass there from Marta Suarez. Olivia Miles was going away from the ball. This is where Olivia Miles for TCU just has to take over. Keep putting pressure on the rim. Great defense there from Bristow. And Tech just immediately pushing.
Fritz going for the three. It's all net. Huge shot made. Her bench loves it. Fritz with the three.
And that is a huge boost for Texas Tech. I'm telling you, Janae Fritz has a beautiful shot from behind the arc. And when she is comfortable and in rhythm, she's almost lights out.
Janae Fritz has started every game this year for Krista Gerlich. Wide open shot from Maddie Shear. And we're going to break. Texas Tech chipping away at the lead TCU has. Huge shot made by Fritz. But TCU still having the lead here in the fourth. Just 4.5 minutes left. Here, the top 25 matchup on FS1.
Right on the perimeter, they're not sucking in, they're relocating and they're getting their feet set. 3 of 6 from behind the arc for Texas Tech here in the fourth, shooting 50%. That's been the difference in the fourth quarter, down the stretch of the fourth quarter. And then they attack there. TCU, though, getting it done in the paint, outworking Texas Tech 32-10 in the paint, but Tech bringing it from behind the arc.
Sydney Love creating offense with her made layup. Now ball back in the hands of Olivia Miles to start for TCU. Mark Campbell said instead of Haley Van Lith, we got Olivia Miles now.
Texas Tech just with a tough drive right here from Sydney Love. She lays it in, had Maddie Shear on her hip and was able to attack. Olivia Miles for TCU is gonna have to take over the ball game and the pace of play for TCU down the stretch of the fourth quarter. She has to attack like we just saw and try and get to the free throw line. That could be the difference in this game. If Miles attacks and Tech has to bail her out and send her to the line, that could be the difference. You take a look at what she's averaging, 19 points, just now 12 points on the game today. So Tech has done a good job making everything difficult on Miles, but she does have the ability to just take over ball games, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just 3 assists for Olivia Miles here today. 48 assists away from breaking TCU's single season assist record. Spin move by Collins. Snudda Collins, who comes off the bench, making such an impact for the Lady Raiders.
Wow, great defense there from Maddie Shear, but Snudda Collins with an elite finish.
Janae Fritz putting pressure on Olivia Miles. Switching to Suarez. Wide shot off the backboard. That's going to be Texas Tech's ball. Sydney Love. Maupin, the leader of the Lady Raiders team, going down right now. Maddie Shear covering Maupin.
And when Collins had a wide open drive to the lane, it was because Maddie Shear was forcing her left. Collins just kept attacking, got Maddie Shear off balance, spin move, turnaround, jumper. That's an elite finish from Snudda Collins right there. Take a look at her second half points, 15 points in the second half.
That was the 4th foul for Maddie Shear. What a move! Snudda Collins all over in the paint.
And it looks like Snudda Collins might have gotten away with a little bit of a push-off right there, but she was just protecting her body. And again, Snudda Collins, such an elite driver because she gets Maddie Shear on her hip. The last 2 times she scored on Shear, it's because she's had her on her hip. That just means she's quick with the ball in her hands. Her first step is quick. She's such an athletic player and an elite finisher at the rim.
That was Maddie Shear's 5th foul. Mark Campbell said she's a good combo guard, pass first player, and good shooter. You can see how aggressive she is in this game.
You have to remember, she's missed the last few games as well, Maddie Shear has. So with that, you got to get back into game shape. It doesn't matter how many games you miss. You miss 1, you miss 2, you miss 10. You got to get back into the flow of the game and game shape, and that could be the reason why we saw Maddie Shear with 5 fouls in this one.
Snudda Collins, successful and 1. Jada Malone on your screen, starting for the first time here today.
And notice how the momentum, Shelby, has just completely shifted to Texas Tech. It's because they've let their defense lead to their offense. That's what they pride themselves on. They've gotten stops here in the 4th quarter, and they're knocking it down from 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's gotten chippy, but it's very physical right now with these two teams. This is the largest lead of the game for TCU, just 2 points. Texas Tech, just 2 points.
And right now, Texas Tech just coming up with these hustle plays. Bailey Maupin just beating Marta Suarez there, knocking it off of her to give the possession back to Tech. They're getting these 50-50 balls, these hustle plays. I love this right here. Out of Bailey Maupin, that should have been Marta Suarez's ball, but she hustles in there and knocks it off of her to give her team the ball back.
Sydney Love finding Bristow, driving in the paint for the layup. Big defensive rebound, that's Miles. Jump ball, 2 on Miles. Red jerseys are all over her. You can see the frustration right now from Olivia Miles.
Just could not secure that rebound. It looked like Olivia Miles had it, but then Danae Fritz comes in. They get tangled up and have a little bit of words with each other as well. And right after this, Danae Fritz just put her hands up in the air, trying to get the crowd more involved. And right now, Texas Tech trying to protect their home court.
Olivia Miles have helped up some Texas Tech players, but you see she also has that side where she wants to exchange some words. Huge game for both of these teams. Maupin gets her own rebound. Huge play.
Goes back to the keys of the game. Krista Gerlich telling us offensive rebounds. Not able to knock that one down, but they still gave themselves another opportunity. Offensive rebounding so big in this one. And Texas Tech just hustling here. Bailey Maupin not able to finish, but gets her own rebound. Kicks it out. Just not able to finish that one.
Texas Tech defense putting the pressure on TCU's. 9 of their 11 turnovers have been in the second half. Snudda Collins all over Hunter. 2-on-1, Maupin stepping in, but that leaves Suarez open. Contact made. That's Maupin going down. Maupin was going up for the rebound.
All 5 Texas Tech players just crashing hard here. Bailey Maupin trying to come down with that one. And Taylor Bigby's right there for TCU.
Bailey Maupin in her 4th winning season in a row at Texas Tech. That's the first time in 15 years. That's Fritz on your screen. Had some huge plays at the right time to get momentum on Texas Tech's side. Bristow driving in, blocked by Hunter, but that ball's out.
And this is another game, back-to-back games, where we see Texas Tech having Sydney Love in these valuable minutes. Yema Nunez on the bench.
Sydney Love to Collins. Maupin looking for the ball. Too much defense on her. Collins going to the ground with a jump shot. Danae Fritz tries to get the offensive board.
Great hustle there by Danae Fritz, getting the offensive board, getting the foul drawn on her. Let's take a look at that difference in the offensive rebounding, 15-6. That's skewed a little bit because a lot of that has come in the second half and been the difference for Texas Tech is that offensive rebounding. It's been elite here in the second half and a huge reason why they've been able to come back in this ball game. 3-game lead.
Looks like Fritz might have been hit in the face. You see Krista Gerlich talking with the officials. Fritz shooting 78% this season from the free throw line.
Physicality going to be huge down the stretch. Can Texas Tech attack TCU and get to the free throw line, make them foul?
Fritz helped Baylor to a Sweet 16 berth. Krista Gerlich said that she had to get this player on her team. Hunter calling Miles over. She's driving in. Red jersey's all over her, but that leaves a wide open shot for Donovan Hunter, and she makes the three.
And that's just the impact that Olivia Miles has when she gets the ball in the paint and she's attacking. She's a gravity sucker. Multiple defenders honing in on her, and it leaves players on the perimeter wide open.
Krista Gerlich told us it's mesmerizing watching how she can draw in so many defenders. Tied game here in the fourth quarter.
This is Achilles' heel, because if you hone in on Miles, you've got elite shooters from TCU on the perimeter. Ball security down the stretch of this game with 30 seconds left is going to be huge. Snudda Collins!
Huge three made by Snudda Collins, putting Texas Tech at the three-point lead.
How about it? Just coming off, getting her feet set. Confident shot right there. There's no reason why Snudda Collins shouldn't be confident. And not only her scoring ability, her playmaking ability. If I'm Texas Tech and Krista Gerlich, I'm getting the ball to Collins right now and letting her go off. She's got the momentum. She's got the confidence of the team right now. You see her with 26 points. She's been so elite in the fourth quarter, though. We talk about how she's not even a starter. She comes off the bench, but hey, it doesn't matter who starts. It's who finishes. You see her with the pick and pop, getting her feet set, knocking down threes, and then attacking the defender, having Maddie Shear on her hip. The spin just finished. Once again, having Maddie Shear on her hip, just attacking. That constant pressure that Snudda Collins is putting on the rim. And then that last three where she knocks it down to give Tech a lead right here.
Texas Tech has made 6 or more three-pointers over the last 9 games. You can see how confident they are, but head coach Krista Gerlich said, I'm challenging them to take more shots. She said a lot of her players want to pass off the ball and drive in. She said start being comfortable with being uncomfortable with those deep shots.
Yeah, Tech would like to get up about 23 threes per game. They've been making about 9 lately, so they do want to get more threes up. They've done a great job of that in the second half. You got to give a lot of credit to Krista Gerlich, who you see right there on your screen, and the game plan discipline that her team has had in this game. They've been really disciplined, especially in the second half on both sides of the ball. They've made every possession for TCU incredibly difficult.
Seems like we're reviewing Snudda Collins' three. Her season high of a three-point made has been 6. So it looks like we're looking at her foot right now.
Her foot might have been on the line, trying to decide if it's a 2 or a 3. Let's see if we can get some good looks at it here.
Her right foot looks good.
Right foot looks fine. Obviously you can't see her left foot from this angle, but we'll get another look at it. See her, good job just getting squared up to the basket right there. That's behind. Let's see where her release is.
Oh, that has to be good.
We need a clear look right here.
Left foot clearly behind the three-point arc.
The left is, but it's that right foot when she releases, right?
After review, the call of the three-point basket stands as called.
There we go.
The crowd erupting. Over 6,000 fans here. Take another look. Yeah, clearly stays behind the line in the last second. Her right foot was much closer than her left.
That is huge right there for Tech to be able to get 3 points, not 2.
Just over 30 seconds left here in the game. Texas Tech leading by 3.
If you're Tech, you don't need to foul. Just play good, solid defense right here. Not bad, though. It's going to be a foul on the ground, not when Marta Suarez was shooting. So if you do have to foul, keep it on the floor.
TCU hoping that drops some momentum. Reviewing that play of Collins. Texas Tech finding that momentum in the second half of the game. Marta Suarez, pressure on her. The layup is good.
It's good, solid defense from Texas Tech right there on Marta Suarez, but she's just attacking right now. Spins, stays with it. Great finish right there from Marta Suarez. Good footwork as well on the block. See it once again. Just an elite finish from Marta Suarez. Once again, what makes her so difficult to defend because she's so good with the ball in her hands.
The effort from Suarez hasn't stopped. Leads her team with 13 points. Been saying her name all over.
So you see, both teams still have timeouts left. TCU with 2, Texas Tech with 1 timeout left. That's going to be something to watch. With 16.5 seconds left to go in this game. Hey, I love it. As a basketball fan, you've got to love games like this, especially in conference play when we've got 2 of the top 4 teams in the league. And it's a 1-point ball game with 16.5 seconds to go. Right now, ball security is key. No turnovers and game plan discipline.
Emma Nunez feeling the pressure.
Sheffy fouling before the ball even gets in. If you're going to foul, that's what you want to do because nothing came off the clock. No time came off the clock.
Texas Tech in the bonus, putting Maupin at the line. Maupin has 5 points of the game.
She's great from the free throw line. She wants to get to the free throw line.
They're 81% on the season from the free throw line.
Huge free throws right there from Bailey Maupin to knock those down. That is clutch. Now, it's a 1-possession game. TCU has to have a 3 to tie it up.
TCU has to also stop Collins. 26 points for her here, leading the gym in points.
And as we mentioned, so much of Collins' play and scoring has come in the second half. Just an elite player that has a great feel for the game. She has that ability to take over the game because of her feel. I mentioned she's just a matchup nightmare for teams. She can rip it from the high post, as we've seen her do a lot this season, but she's got that mid-range jumper. She's shooting the 3, the pick and pop has been excellent, but a lot of it for Texas Tech here in the fourth quarter. They've let their defense lead to their offense. They're getting big-time stops, just playing fundamental defense right there, you see from Collins, and then coming up with the boards. That's the biggest thing. Nothing's more frustrating as a defender when you play elite defense and you don't get the rebound. Well, they're doing a great job of getting those rebounds, and then their press defense has been electric this entire second half. Something Texas Tech is just well known for nationally is that press defense. You saw it there where Danae Fritz came up with that 50-50 ball. Ton of effort and hustle right now from the Red Raiders down the stretch of the fourth quarter.
Texas Tech has 15 offensive rebounds. TCU has just 6. That means 1 for TCU in the second half altogether offensively. Olivia Miles on your screen, the playmaker of the team.
We'll take a look at the fouls to give. TCU doesn't have any. Texas Tech with 1. Just need to play good defense here and get a stop.
Olivia Miles shoots, misses this one. It's a defensive rebound. Snudda Collins has it.
Huge rebound right there for Texas Tech. Not sure that is what TCU wanted offensively. Yes, I want the ball in Olivia Miles' hands if I'm the Horned Frogs, but she had to force up that shot. But once again, it's just the pressure Texas Tech is putting on them defensively. They're making every shot difficult, and TCU just couldn't get a clean look there.
Snudda Collins at the line. Besides her 26 points, she has 5 rebounds. And a reminder, she's coming off the bench, about as impressive as it can get.
I love it. It's the old coach's cliche. It's not about who starts, it's who finishes, but it's true. Snudda Collins, a great example of that, as she's not able to get that free throw to go. She can hit this one. It's a 2-possession ball game for TCU, and I'm feeling better if I'm Texas Tech. Seals it.
Snudda Collins, 27 points in the top 25 matchup against TCU. Texas Tech trailed almost the entire first half, found that momentum in the second. Like you said, Madison, defensively, just completely going off.
Well, and now TCU has no timeouts left. Texas Tech with 1, Texas Tech in the bonus. Let's see what Mark Campbell draws up here to be able to get a good shot here, but calling the timeout to advance the ball. They should have a pretty good look at the basket, but you know Texas Tech is going to make this difficult on TCU. If I'm Tech, look, it's a 4-point ball game. Just play solid defense, don't foul. You have less than 5 seconds to play. You don't need to foul.
TCU has been so good on the road this year. Not a team. Deep Miles makes this 3 clutch shot. Down just 1 against Texas Tech.
What a shot from Olivia Miles. A high ball screen from Marta Suarez, but didn't matter for Miles. She knocked as soon as you can. Don't let any time come off of the clock. Limited time. But Texas Tech, once they get the ball in, they're good.
One second left in the fourth quarter. Texas Tech leads TCU by 1 point here in Lubbock, Texas.
Good job by TCU, just fouling from away from the ball, so no time comes off.
Marta Suarez's 3rd foul of the game. Snudda Collins back to the free throw line. Has 27 points here in the matchup with TCU. Mark Campbell on your screen. Collins' career season high is 28 points. She sits at 27 right now.
And a reminder, neither team has any timeouts left right now. Huge free throw right here from Collins.
Collins going to tie her career season high at 28 points, and she does. 28 for her against TCU, and Texas Tech takes down number 12 TCU Horned Frogs. Huge win for Krista Gerlich and the Lady Raiders.
Wow, unbelievable.